Let's go live to Pretoria now, where the meeting with the President, the veterans and the top six is taking place. Mzwandile Mbeje has an update for us. Mzwandile, a very good afternoon to you. Has the meeting convened? What can you tell us? What is on the agenda today?
Thank you very much, Alicia. Indeed, the meeting is underway right here at St. George's Hotel in Tshwane. Earlier, the journalists were called in to take the photo opportunity of these people meeting. But before that, what happened was that Mondays, as you know, Mondays are normally the ANC Mondays. Every other Monday, the NWC, the National Working Committee of the ANC, meets. And then today, it was the time for the NWC to meet. So what happened was that before this meeting, which has now already started, happened, so they met first, and the veterans also had their own caucus. So to talk about a range of issues, you know that in the past, and following the fallout, I would say, of the August 3 elections, where the ANC is deemed to have performed very poorly in the eyes of many people. In fact, this municipality that I'm on right now, the Tshwane, is not under ANC control. Johannesburg, you know, and the Nelson Mandela. So there's been a lot of issues that have come up since the August 3 elections. So what these veterans have done was that they came together to say, we will not stand aside and watch our party because we can see that things are not going right. So then they wrote a letter. Initially, it was about 101 of them. So we are now told that people who are committed to this project of the veterans is about 106. So they wrote a letter to say they would really like to meet the leadership of the ANC, indeed the leadership that is led by President Jacob Zuma. So that is what is happening today, that the veterans will have the opportunity to talk about all that has been bothering them. You know that they've been saying there is a range of issues, from what they call corruption, what they say is nepotism, and a general decay perhaps in the manner in which the functioning of the organization is happening. So they want to raise those things quite sharply with the leadership. And of course, we did hear the president earlier saying yes, he was actually very committed to meet with everyone who wants to meet, but indeed also raised his own issues to say those people who belong to the organization should do such things within the structures. So what basically happened was that, so these are all ANC people. They've decided to say whatever differences we have, whatever approach we may have taken earlier, it's in the interest of the organization to come together to meet. That's the reason why this meeting, Alicia, is happening right here in Pretoria.
Mzwandile, now besides, of course, the party's top six and the 101 veterans, we understand that there's some other constituencies that are also going to be part of this meeting. Do tell us, what is their role particularly in this meeting, and why have they also come to voice their concerns, and what kind of concerns? Is it particularly maybe similar concerns as the veterans do have?
Alicia, as I've indicated to you earlier, this is the National Working Committee that is meeting with the veterans. So the National Working Committee is that structure that runs the day-to-day operations of the ANC. So it's meeting with the veterans. And you know the veterans, which include a number of people, among them Andrew Mlangeni, of course, he's well known. He was jailed along Madiba, Ahmed Kathrada, Dennis Goldberg. So all of those people, and people like Frank Chikane, who have spoken publicly about the issues that they say they are not happy about within the organization, the ANC. Some of the issues they are saying the reason why perhaps the organization may not be doing so well at the moment is that they feel there is marginalization which leadership needs to make sure that anyone who is part of this organization is listened to. And then they are complaining about issues of corruption. You know, during the election time, the August 3 election, one of the most important things that was spoken about was corruption. So the leadership is saying, the leadership rather of the veterans veterans is saying. So they want to raise these issues directly with the current leadership led by President Jacob Zuma to say, so people are complaining, people have issues, and what is the best way to look at these issues and to deal with these issues? Because at the end of the day, once this decay continues and no one stops it, it will then erode the public confidence from the ANC, and at the end of the day, the ANC will find itself out of power. So those are the issues that the veterans will be raising. In fact, I can tell you, given what has been happening publicly, what the veterans have been saying, those who have had the opportunity of speaking publicly, and some leaders of the ANC. So I would assume this is really a very robust meeting where really everyone will say everything that he or she wants to say. As you can see, there's no media there, so it's a closed meeting. We are very far from where this event is happening. So it tells you that they wanted the opportunity to really sit down as ANC people to talk about issues, ANC, to talk about issues that affect them. So we understand that after the meeting, the veterans have promised to give us a media briefing to tell us how the meeting went and really how they were received by the leadership and what is the way forward. On the ANC side, they were not committal. They are at the moment non-committal, but it's possible that after the meeting they may also give us a briefing. So they're giving us their side of the story, because at the end of the day, I would hope that all of them would want to see a solution that will bring unity to this organization.
Thank you so much for that update. That is Mzwandile Mbeji live to us from Pretoria, where President Jacob Zuma is meeting with veterans as well as the party's top six.